Hi there, welcome to Finch Chevrolet, and congratulations on your brand new Chevrolet Traverse. Since we won't have a whole lot of time to spend together and we won't be able to be in the vehicle together, I thought I'd take this opportunity to record a video going over some of the features and options to make you as familiar with it as possible. After this, if you still want more information, we can definitely get together, do a live chat, and walk you through the vehicle features both inside and out. Let's take a closer look. So we just had it washed again for you, and it is raining, so it'll likely be full of water when we bring it over to the house. I know we talked about a few things when you first saw the vehicle or similar vehicle. There we go, we get that power hatch working. So rear cargo liners are all installed. These are great, so seats up or down, they're not in the way, and they protect the back of the seat. Here we have the pulls to fold the seats down. This pull also controls your headrest. So if you'd like to have the headrest down to improve your visibility, just pull on the cables, the headrest will pop down. And if you continue to pull it and then push forward, that will allow you to fold the seats down flat. Power tailgate button at the back. This is the programmable power tailgate. So if you don't want it to open this high, you want it to open a little bit lower, simply push and hold. You'll see the lights flash. And this is programmed to the 3/4 button, which I'll show you inside the vehicle when we get inside. On the doors, you probably remember the keyless access buttons. These allow you to lock and unlock the vehicle as long as you have a key within 1 meter of the vehicle. Vehicle's locked, vehicle's unlocked. This can also be programmed to open all the doors in the vehicle at one time or only open the driver door. If it is programmed or only opening the driver door, double click that silver button on the driver door and it will open all the doors at once. I'm on the passenger side taking a look at the seats to access the third row. This pulls the entire seat forward and allows you for easy access into the third row. And slides back into place. This lever down on the bottom is what allows your seats to fold flat. Just your power window switch, lock and handle on the door. And the back we have our 150 watt, 120 volt outlet, a couple of charge only USB ports, heated seats, and then your climate control system for the rear. So there are vents on the bottom and the top so that you can make it nice and comfortable in the back. While we're looking at the third row, we do have, again, charge only ports on both sides. So lots of places to charge up your devices. Quick look on the passenger side, and then we'll move over to the driver area where there'll be more to look at. So full power seat on the passenger side. Quick look at the interior. And let's go have a look at the driver's side. We'll get this started. As it started up, you notice the lights in the mirrors. Those are your blind spot monitors. Thank you. They will light up in the event that someone is in your blind spot or someone is rapidly approaching your blind spot. Also, if you turn on your turn signal and someone's in your blind spot, it'll go from a solid light to a flashing light. Looking at the door, start out with our memory seats. I'm not going to program them now just because you may have programmed them yourself. But as a reminder, hit the set and the number at the same time, and those will program your memory seats for driver 1, driver 2, and the easy exit position is also programmable. So if there's a position that you want the seat to be in when you exit the vehicle, hold set and the easy exit button at the same time, and that will program it. There will be a feature in the driver information center or the radio here to turn on your memory seats and your easy exit seats. Power lock's pretty self-explanatory. Mirrors, window lockout for the rear seats, and of course your power windows. In front of the dash, we have our display lights or dash lights. So that'll control these lights and your radio lights. at nighttime. So if they're too bright or too dim, you can turn them up or down. Lights are fully automatic and on right now. And down here we have our fog lamps. So if you'd like your fog lamps on while driving, just push to set. They will turn themselves off automatically. While we are talking about lights, this button here, it won't work right now because the exterior lights or the nighttime lights are not on. This is your automatic high beams. I believe in this vehicle it shows up in blue when your high beams are turned on. Push that button and it uses a camera in the front of the vehicle to determine if there's a vehicle coming towards you or you're coming towards another vehicle. Automatically turns your high beams on and off. Fantastic feature. I have it on my vehicle and I love it. On the steering wheel, we have our forward collision alert. There's a series of LED lights. They come right out of that box there and they reflect on the windshield. So if you are getting too close to the vehicle in front of you, most likely they make an emergency stop and you don't, you will see those lights flash and you'll get a beep letting you know that it's time to hit the brakes before you hit the vehicle in front of you. If you want to change that gap, if you're getting too many false alarms, you can move that from the large gap to the medium gap to the small gap. So I'll leave it on the large gap for now. Below the gap adjust is your heated steering wheel. Don't need that on today, but great feature. And of course, cruise control options here. This will turn your cruise on and off. You'll see that white icon turning on and off. As long as that white icon is on, you'll be able to use these buttons here. If the white icon is off, your cruise control will not work. Moving over to the other side of the steering wheel, we have our phone or voice commands, and then the hang up or mute button. And this 5-way switch controls everything in our driver information center. So right now we are on the home screen. If we were on the road, it would be telling us the speed limit as well as the speed, and then we can see our fuel range of 633 kilometers, and we have 279 kilometers on the car. Vehicle is in park, that's the red P, and we are facing south, which is a small S on the left-hand side. If you look up at the top here, it will show you that little arrow letting you know that we can move over to the next menu. This is our information menu. We're at the bottom of it right now, which is a blank page, and we can scroll through. We have speed, trip 1, trip 2, fuel range, oil life, tire pressures, air filter, fuel economy average, timer, battery voltage, and back to the blank page. So scrolling through that, if you did want to reset your trip odometer, for example, we'll just push and hold the check mark, and it has reset your trip odometer. Oil life, you'll notice it's at 82%. So as the vehicle is driven and even as the vehicle sits, that is going to come down. So you still have lots of oil life left in the vehicle, but it's not 100% because the vehicle has been sitting for a little bit. Tire pressures, you'll notice they're not all identical because they're kilopascals. You're not always going to have the exact same tire pressure in all of your tires, and you will also notice that those tire pressures will change as you drive and as the temperatures change outside. The important thing is they're all green, and then if you get a message from OnStar that your tires are low or getting low, then you want to address that and put some air in the tires, but everything looks good for now. Air filter is good. So we'll go back to the speed and we'll move the next menu over. That's our music information, so what we're listening to on the radio. We have our navigation information. If you had a route programmed on your navigation screen, your next turn would show up on the driver information center. Don't have a phone connected right now, but you'll obviously have your phones connected. And then settings, the very last menu, that is going to be where you're going to switch from miles to kilometers. You can actually turn on and off info pages. So for example, let's say you didn't want 2 trip odometers, you want to delete the first one, you can turn that one off. Turn it back on for now. All your fuel economy information, oil life, tire pressure. Some of my clients love all of this information. Other clients, timer, for example, is not something that's used very often. Prefer to turn it off to clean up their display. I'll turn on the driver assistance and the following distance indicator so you can have a look at that and see if that's something that you want to keep. Economy trend and eco index, those are all kind of cool. And then we're back to blank page. We'll leave that on as we move out. Speed warning is programmable. It's currently turned off and I'm going to leave it off. but you can program a preset speed, one speed, where the car will tell you that you've hit your speed warning. So for people who like to travel a little too fast on the highway, you could set that at 130, 140, 150 to minimize the cost of your speeding tickets if you like to drive enthusiastically. Move out of that menu, software information. I'm going to go all the way back to information because we turned on a few of those things. This is the off-road mode. Kind of neat. It shows you the steering wheel as I turn it there, what degree the front steering wheel is on. It also lets you know if you're on an angle front to back or right to left, and you'll see that we are in all-wheel drive right now. So hopefully that gives you a nice overview of our driver information center. There's your fuel economy index and your fuel economy trends. Just more information, and now we're back at the home screen, which is most likely what you will use most of the time. Moving over to the center console, down on the bottom we have our emergency brake, lane keep assist. So this is going to keep you between the lines when you're traveling over 60 kilometers an hour. It is not designed to keep you in the center of the lane. It is designed to catch you if you're drifting too far one way or the other. If you don't like the feature, it can be turned off. We'll leave that feature turned on. Traction control, you'll most likely leave on all the time. It is only there in the event you needed to limit wheel spin. Most of the time the all-wheel drive system is going to take care of things itself with very little driver input. Currently in four-wheel drive. Quick switch will move us into two-wheel drive. The other modes that we have over there is off-road mode. So if you're driving up to the cottage and on some rougher roads, you can use off-road mode, and tow haul mode, which will actually change how the transmission shifts if you're towing a load behind you. Move it back into two-wheel drive because it's a nice day. Looking at the shifter, park, reverse, neutral, drive, and low. Once in a while, I have had customers think they were going all the way into drive and went into low, driving around and none of the gears change. So if that happens to you, just tap it up into D and the transmission will shift normally. Should you decide that you want to shift the gears individually, you can shift them using these plus and minus buttons, and it will show you which gear you are on in your driver information center. So we'll shift all the way up there. All 9 speeds of the transmission. Back into drive. And I'll move the vehicle into park. In front of the shifter, we do have our wireless charger. It's great because it's big enough to fit most phones. Just be cautious, it will only charge wireless charging compatible phones. Above that, we have our USB ports. Both of these will charge and provide data to the radio system. So if you're looking to plug in some music, you want to use these ports and not the ports in the back, unless of course you're using Bluetooth. These will also be the ports that you want to use for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Moving up to our climate control system, heated seats, ventilated seats. Both of them have 3 different positions, so you can get the appropriate temperature for yourself, driver side, passenger side, and then we do have independent climate control system. With the climate control system, you'll notice we're on the auto function right now. If you are able to get used to it, great feature. It will speed up the fan and slow down the fan, keeping the temperature at the temperature that you like best. So generally when I'm looking to move my temperature, I'll just move it in smaller increments so I don't have a whole lot of fan blowing. But again, it's a personal preference. You can also operate things manually using your fan speed in the middle and then where you would like the air to flow. Moving up to the radio, hopefully I haven't bored you too much yet. We'll take a look by starting at the home screen. We have 2 home buttons. You can use either one of those buttons to get here. You'll notice that there are 3 screens right now. This is our split screen, which gives you your radio and your phone if it was connected. Also gives you a split screen on the navigation. And then we can move to our home page and our second home page. So there's apps that can be downloaded. You've got access to OnStar through here or up at the top. Climate control settings for the front. So you can control your climate here or down here. Totally up to you. And your rear climate is right over here. Back to the home button. Satellite radio. They have upgraded the satellite radio from the previous generation. So this is, I believe it's called 360L. There's more channels and some podcasts that will record, that will be available on a regular basis. So play around with that. Let me know if you want more information. Of course, AM and FM radio is there. If we hit more, this is where we'll find our Bluetooth and anything not showing on that screen. So if you had a USB port or a USB drive plugged in, it would also show in that sources area. Favorites all across the top. Just program the radio station that you're listening to, push and hold, and it will program it in. The other nice thing about favorites is if you hit browse, where are we? Satellite radio, browse. Actually, it's not letting me do it right now, so I'll look into that after I record this video. By hitting browse, all the radio stations will pop up, and you can actually push the little stars and turn those into favorites. It makes it so much easier than going through and searching for channels individually. Back to the home screen, we have our camera. So this is your 360 degree view camera and your rear camera. This will operate in reverse and slow speeds in a parking lot. You can also hit the camera button while you're driving if you're towing a trailer. It'll illuminate the rear camera for 8 seconds just so you can check on your load and make sure that everything is connected properly. Audio we talked about. Phone, this is where you will program or connect your phone. Wi-Fi hotspot, you'll get that free for 30 days. You can try that out when you activate your OnStar. Please do activate the OnStar. That's the blue button up here. When you activate the OnStar, that will give you your 10 years of complimentary coverage, and I do want to ensure that you're getting that. That's the email that you're going to get from your vehicle once a month for the next 10 years, letting you know when it's time for an oil change, if there's any recalls or service updates. Users, this is a newer feature. Not a lot of people are aware of it. If you set your user profile and you want to use the same email address that you're using for OnStar, it will save a lot of the programmable features in the vehicle. And if you rented one of these vehicles somewhere with user profiles or got into your next GM vehicle, you can log in. It will remember all of your presets that are on or similar on both vehicles. So pretty great feature. Please set up your user profiles. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, those will illuminate when you plug in your phone. For iPhones, there's no software download required, just plug and play. For the Android phones, you will want to download Android Auto and follow the setup instructions. I'm going to go into settings. 3 separate menus: system, apps, and vehicles. This is where you're going to do your time and date. Another spot to change your phones or check on your Wi-Fi networks. GM's privacy policy, display. So you can recalibrate the display if it's not working properly or turn the display off. Currently we're in auto mode, but you can also set it to day or night mode. Sounds, maximum startup volume, pretty cool feature. Not a lot of people are aware of the maximum startup volume. If you came home and the radio was really loud the next day, somebody starts up the car, this is going to be as loud as it will go. So really nice feature to prevent getting in the car and having the radio up really, really loud. Audible touch feedback. That's just while you're using the screen, you get little clicks. I'll turn that off, as that's what most of my customers prefer. Favorites, we can manage our favorites from here. So if we wanted to change the favorites that we have, I'm going to leave these just in case you've preset them already. But you can move them around and delete them, as well as edit the names. No favorites from phone and no favorites from nav yet. So we scroll down, updates, preferences, applications. A lot of this stuff is just the legal stuff. Moving over to apps, CarPlay and Android Auto, they're both turned on. Every once in a while they get turned off by accident, so make sure those are turned on. All of our apps are currently updating automatically. You can turn that feature off if you wanted to do so. Climate control, we can control whether we want our cooled seats, heated seats, rear defog, and front defog to turn on. So right now they're all turned on. This is really nice. Personally, I don't like a lot of wind blowing in my car when I'm driving, so I have it set to the low setting. I'll put it back to medium for yourself, so you can make that change if you need to, but if you do like a lot of air movement in the vehicle, you'll probably prefer to keep it on high. And climate, my Chevrolet, navigation settings, You can set up your preferences in here as far as route and the way that you look at your map. Also, you can set up your work and home addresses in there. I'm going to move over to the vehicle setting. This is where most of your settings that you may adjust will be. Rear seat reminder. When you turn off the vehicle, if somebody has gotten in and out of the vehicle, or if you've opened up the back door within 10 minutes of operation, when you turn off the vehicle, it will give you a ding, ding, ding and say check back seat. If you'd like to turn that off, you can simply turn it off through here. Climate and air quality, that stuff that we just looked at in the other menu, is also in here. Collision detection systems, our forward collision alert. Currently it's set up to alert and brake. You can set it to be just the alert. You can also turn the alert completely off if the gap setting is not large enough for you, even on the smallest setting. Front pedestrian alert is turned on and also has the brake active. When I say that these will automatically brake, one thing to remember is it may prevent a collision, but it's going to reduce the severity of the impact in either case. So you want to make sure that it's not there to stop you 100% of the time, although it is a very good system. It is there to slow down the vehicle in the event we weren't paying as much attention as we should have been. Lane change alert is on, park assist is on, and rear cross traffic is all turned on. Comfort and convenience, you can make the chime very, very loud. Nobody ever does. You can also change how the hands-free liftgate, that's the kick underneath, how it operates, whether you want it to open and close that way, or just open or not open at all. Reverse tilt mirror, this is something I think you should turn on. I'm going to leave it off for now, but you can set either the passenger mirror, the driver mirror, or both mirrors to tilt down when you put the vehicle in reverse. Personally, I like the passenger mirror because it allows me to see the curb if I'm parallel parking, or the lines if I'm just backing into a parking space. And then I prefer to keep this one in its standard position, so if I am parallel parking, I can still see traffic. Also, backing into the garage, it makes it a lot easier to see the side of the garage. That feature is tilt in reverse. Auto wipe in reverse, it's turned on right now, so if you're putting the vehicle in reverse and your windshield wipers are on, it'll automatically pass once to clear off your rear wiper. I believe we were just in comfort and convenience. Lighting, you can set your lights to stay on for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 120 seconds, or have them turn off right away when you exit the vehicle. Locator lights, or when you unlock the vehicle using the remote, it'll turn on the lights on the outside of the vehicle so you can find it. Power door locks, the vehicle is set up in a way so you shouldn't be able to lock the keys in the vehicle, so I suggest leaving these this way. In the remote lock, unlock, start, this is where you're going to want to go in and program whether you'd like all the doors to unlock or just the driver door, as well as for the passive lock system. You can set it to off, so you have to lock it yourself, or by setting it on with a horn chirp, you'll get a quick chirp 10 seconds after you leave the car, letting you know that the vehicle is locked. If you like that feature but don't like the chirp, you can just turn it on and the vehicle will lock silently. Remote left in vehicle alert, please do leave this on. If you're getting out of the vehicle and you hear beep, 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 it means you've turned off the vehicle and left a set of keys inside. If you get out of the vehicle and you hear beep, 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 and you know you have the keys in your hand, you've left the vehicle with the keys and left it running. So anytime you hear beep, 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 just make sure you know where the keys are and whether the car is on or off. Seating position, we had talked about this before with the seat entry memory and the easy exit seat. So if you would like to use the memory seating, you're going to want to turn both of those features on. Teen driver, if you'd like to program that, teen driver gives you a couple of nice things. One of the keys has to be programmed as a teen driver key. And when you have that key programmed, every time the vehicle is operated, it'll add to this report card. How far it's been driven, what the maximum speed was there any overspeed warnings, wide open throttles, and did any of the safety features kick in. So a really great conversation starter for younger drivers. It gives you all the instructions here on how to set up a key as the teen driver key. Another note, when teen driver is active, the seat belts will not, the radio will not work unless the seat belts are connected. And also the radio will not go as loud as it would with teen driver turned off. Valet mode, if you ever wanted to lock the radio and this hidden compartment in behind here, enter in a code, hit enter, it'll ask you to re-enter that code. Now you've locked out the radio, so nobody has access to any of your Bluetooth settings, previous destinations in your navigation system, or any of the radio stations that you were listening to. Also, when the vehicle is in valet mode, the radio is locked, so there is no way to listen to the radio. So that sums up, I know I talked pretty quickly. Hopefully you get a chance to watch this a couple of times. Almost forgot one of my favorite features, the rear view vision mirror. So that operates through the toggle right here. And then up top we have our garage door opener, which you can program, sunroof, interior lights, and of course the OnStar. So here's a quick look at the interior. I know that you'll likely have some more questions. Thanks so much for your time today. Congratulations on your new Traverse, and I look forward to continuing this relationship. Have a great day. Drive safe.